Hi everyone, this is the Nordic Venture Show, your guide to the exciting world of Nordic startups and venture capital. In today's episode, we're exploring a startup called Linktree.
All right, get ready to dive deep today because we're tackling Linktree. You know, those link in bio things you see everywhere. We're going to figure out what's the deal with them.
Absolutely.
Why are they so popular? And the big question, should you actually be using one?
Right.
Our source today is going straight to the source, to Linktree's own website.
Okay.
They say they're the original link in bio tool, but is that really true?
Yeah, good question.
And can you really make money with Linktree?
I think that's what everybody wants to know.
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting.
It is.
And it's fascinating how Linktree's really tapped into something creators need. When you think about it, social media bios only have that one link limit.
Right.
And if you're trying to do a lot of things online, that's just not enough.
You got it.
So to start off, what exactly Linktree?
Okay.
I mean, if someone's never even heard of it before, how would you describe it?
So imagine your social media bio is like a little storefront, right? You've only got space for one sign to tell people what's inside.
Right.
But with Linktree, it's like you've got a bigger sign.
Okay.
That basically says, come on in and check out everything we've got.
Gotcha.
It's one place where you can showcase all the links that really matter.
I see.
All the important stuff related to your work, your brand, your passions.
So it's like
You name it.
a doorway to your whole online world.
Exactly.
Now, Linktree says they're the original link in bio tool starting back in 2016. Is there any truth to that?
Well, from the research I've seen,
Okay.
they do seem to be the ones who came up with this whole idea. And if you look at how social media has changed, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Back then, platforms were much simpler.
Right.
But now, they're overflowing with content.
Totally.
I think Linktree realized early on that people would need a better way to manage all those links.
Yeah. They were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Now it's not just about dropping links.
Right.
It's about making connections.
Right. For sure.
They list a ton of things you can add to Linktree. Shops, music, videos. What are some that stand out to you as the most valuable?
Well, the sheer variety is impressive. It's not just social media links. You can connect to your online store, video platforms, music streaming services, podcasts.
Wow.
Even sites where you buy tickets for events.
That's really cool.
This lets creators showcase so many different sides of themselves. And it helps them build a more well-rounded online presence.
Okay, now for the question everyone wants to know.
Yeah, hit me.
Can you actually make money with Linktree?
All right, let's get to the money.
They really highlight those monetization features.
They do.
From getting tips to selling stuff. Is this really a game changer for creators?
I think for some, it absolutely can be.
Really?
Think about the potential.
Yeah.
You could be selling merch, offering exclusive content, even getting donations.
Okay.
All through that one link in your bio.
Wow.
It streamlines everything. And it could be huge for those who are turning their passion into a business.
They even have this quote from a user named Tiffany.
Okay.
She says, "We love how Linktree has helped us manage our business by having all social media and ways to pay in one location. The QR code has made it easy for customers to access it all."
That's pretty cool.
I know.
That quote really shows how convenient it is. Having everything centralized, both for the creator and the audience, is definitely a big plus.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Linktree also talks about how important safety and trust are.
Right.
Especially online.
Especially on social media.
What are your thoughts on Linktree's track record with all that?
Well, they emphasize being trusted by all the big social platforms. They're even used by some of them.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like they take security pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And that they've got a good reputation.
Which makes sense. You see those linktree.e URLs everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I think that familiarity also makes people feel safer.
It does. People tend to trust what they recognize.
Yeah.
And especially if they see others using it.
Exactly.
So that definitely works in Linktree's favor.
So we've talked about the good stuff.
Right.
But let's be real, are there downsides?
Of course. There always are.
What are some things to keep in mind when you're comparing Linktree to other options?
Well, that's a really important point. Linktree is super user-friendly and popular.
Yeah.
But it's not the only choice out there.
Right.
Depending on what you need and what your goals are, other platforms might offer more advanced features or let you customize things more.
That's a good point.
So it's worth looking around.
Okay, but before we get into alternatives, Linktree actually suggests that it could be a mini website.
Yeah.
Maybe even replacing a website altogether.
Interesting.
What do you think about that?
This is where things get really interesting.
Right.
For some creators, especially if they're just starting out or if they're mostly on social media,
Yeah.
Linktree might be enough.
It's simple, it looks good, and you can customize it to a certain degree.
Okay.
But if you're serious about growing online in the long term,
Right.
a dedicated website still has some major advantages,
Like what?
like having more control over your brand and design.
That makes sense.
Plus, there's SEO,
Oh, yeah.
search engine optimization.
Right.
With a website, you've got way more control over keywords and how you rank in searches, which is crucial if you want people to find you organically.
So maybe Linktree's not a website killer after all.
Maybe not just yet.
Okay, so it's more of a stepping stone
Yeah, I think so.
for a lot of creators. It's about finding the right tool at the right time.
Exactly.
So what about making the most of the Linktree you do have?
All right, let's optimize.
They mention things like how many links you have, using subheadings, even adding animations.
I like animations.
What stands out to you as a really effective strategy?
Well, it's all about tailoring your Linktree to your specific goals and audience.
For example, if you're a musician promoting a new album,
Uh-huh.
you'd probably prioritize links to streaming services and videos.
Right.
But a business owner would focus on their products or services.
I see.
It's all about understanding what you want your audience to do.
It's not just about throwing links on a page.
Not at all.
It's about...
It's about crafting an experience.
Yes.
Exactly.
They even quote this author, Ashley Hope Perez.
Okay.
She says, "I hardly touch my website anymore. I just send people to my Linktree.
Wow.
It's a good-looking, fresh interface. So much more dynamic.
Interesting.
I can take a few minutes, update my links, and put my phone away rather than spending 45 struggling on WordPress."
That's great.
I know, right?
That really shows how easy Linktree is to use, especially for creators who might not be tech savvy or who just don't have a lot of time for managing a website.
So we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
but there's still so much more to explore.
For sure.
In our next segment, we'll take a closer look at Linktree's features.
Okay.
We'll compare it to some of those alternatives, and we'll think about what Linktree's future might look like in this ever-changing online world.
Sounds good.
So stick with us.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. So we were talking about how Linktree is more than just a list of links.
Right.
It's got some deeper functionality, focusing on presentation and the kind of info you can get from those links.
Like it's a simplified mini website almost.
Yeah, kinda.
One thing they really highlight is the analytics.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
They give you data on how people are interacting with your links, which seems incredibly useful for anyone trying to grow online.
Absolutely. Knowing those click-through rates can be a game changer.
How so?
Well, you start to see what content is really resonating with people.
Okay.
What's driving traffic to your different platforms.
Interesting.
Even what might need a little refresh.
Makes sense.
It's like built-in feedback to help you refine your strategy.
So you can see which links are the stars, where your audience is coming from,
Yep.
and even track sales and conversions if you're using Linktree to make money.
Exactly.
That's pretty powerful insight.
It is. It takes the guesswork out of content creation.
Yeah, you're not just throwing stuff out there hoping it sticks.
Nope. You're making decisions based on real data.
On what's actually working.
Exactly.
And we can't forget about the visual side of things either.
Right. Linktree gives you a lot of options for customization.
It's not just a boring old list.
Nope. You can personalize it with different themes, colors, fonts.
Even add your own branding.
Exactly. Make it your own.
They even have animated backgrounds and buttons.
Oh, yeah. Those are fun.
You can really add some personality and make it more engaging.
It's all about creating an experience for your audience.
Not just giving them a bunch of links.
Exactly. That attention to detail can make your Linktree page feel much more professional.
And more inviting.
For sure.
But remember how we said Linktree isn't the only option?
Yeah. Oh, right. There are other players in the game.
So for someone who wants to see what else is out there, what are the key things to consider?
Well, one big one is how much you can customize and control things.
Okay.
Some platforms give you more advanced design features,
I see.
or they might integrate with other tools you're already using.
Right.
Some are really focused on specific niches. Like if you're heavily into e-commerce or if you're all about music promotion.
Makes sense.
It really depends on your individual needs and what you're trying to achieve.
So it's worth looking around.
Absolutely. Do your research.
And I bet this whole landscape is constantly changing.
Oh, it definitely is. New platforms and features are popping up all the time.
So how do you keep up?
The key is to stay informed, experiment a little,
Okay.
and find what works best for you and your specific goals.
Taking a step back for a second,
Yeah.
what do you think Linktree's success says about how we create and consume content these days?
I think it shows there's a growing need for a central online hub.
Like a home base for all your stuff?
Exactly. People are engaging with content across so many different platforms now.
Right, it can be overwhelming.
It can be, and they want a simple way to move between them all.
And Linktree acts as that bridge.
Exactly. It's about convenience and a streamlined experience.
People are busy, their attention spans are short.
You got it.
They want things to be intuitive and easy.
And Linktree nails that.
Totally.
It removes the friction and makes it super easy for your audience to find what they're looking for.
It's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely.
Now, to play devil's advocate for a minute.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Let's talk about potential downsides or limitations.
All right, let's get critical.
What are some things users should be aware of?
That's a great question.
One concern I have is that you're relying on a third-party platform for these links.
Uh-huh.
What if Linktree has technical issues
Okay. Yeah.
or changes its policies?
Right. That's a valid point.
You're kind of at their mercy.
It highlights how important it is to diversify your online presence.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. You don't want to be completely dependent on one platform.
So have backups and other ways to reach your audience.
That's good advice.
What else comes to mind?
Well, even though Linktree is visually appealing, it might not give you the same level of design control as a standalone website.
Right, you're limited to their templates and features.
Exactly. You might not be able to fully capture your unique vision.
And like we talked about before, SEO is a big deal.
Huge.
A Linktree page might not show up in search results as easily.
That's right, which could limit how many people find you organically.
So while Linktree is a great tool for sharing and driving traffic,
It is.
it's important to be aware of these potential limitations. And think about how they relate to your goals.
It all comes back to choosing the right tool for the job
Yeah.
and recognizing that there's not always a one-size-fits-all solution.
What works for one person might not be the best for another. So in this segment, we've explored both the exciting potential of Linktree and some of the possible drawbacks.
The good and the bad.
But there's still more to uncover. So let's talk about the future.
Okay.
Where do you see Linktree going as the online world keeps changing so fast?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
And this is where things get really exciting.
I like exciting.
One thing I see happening is those monetization features we talked about. They're going to become even more integrated with e-commerce
Okay.
as more creators build their online businesses.
Yeah.
Linktree is in a perfect spot to become the central hub.
So it's less about just sharing links
Right.
and more about managing your whole online presence.
Exactly.
And making money from it.
And making money, yeah.
And what about those Web3 technologies?
Oh, that's a whole other level.
Like blockchain and NFTs?
I could definitely see Linktree incorporating those.
So you could be showcasing your NFTs, selling digital art, even offering exclusive content to people who hold certain tokens.
Absolutely.
Your Linktree.
The possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
It's like the future of online creativity and commerce all in one place.
It really is.
But we have to talk about the website killer debate one last time.
Okay, let's settle this.
Can Linktree really replace a website?
I think it really depends.
On what?
For some, especially those just starting out or who are mostly active on social media, Linktree might be all they need.
It's simple, it looks good,
Exactly.
and you can customize it to some extent.
But for creators who are really serious about building a long-term online presence
Okay.
with total control over their branding and their content and SEO,
Yeah, SEO.
a standalone website is still the best way to go.
So they're more like different tools for different stages of the journey.
Exactly. Think of it like this.
Okay, I'm listening.
Your website is your home base,
Okay.
your own little piece of the internet,
Okay.
and your Linktree is like your welcome mat,
Oh, I like that.
pointing people to all the different rooms in your house.
That's a great analogy.
So it's not about one replacing the other.
Mhm.
It's about using them together strategically.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing to remember is that Linktree is incredibly powerful.
Okay.
It has a ton of potential, but you have to use it strategically.
Right.
Don't just throw random links on there and expect amazing results.
Don't be lazy.
Think about your goals,
Mm-hmm.
your target audience,
Okay.
and how you can use Linktree to create a really smooth and engaging experience.
For everyone who clicks on that link.
Exactly.
And never stop exploring and experimenting.
Absolutely.
This online world changes all the time.
It does.
What works today might not work tomorrow.
You got to stay curious, stay informed,
Mm-hmm.
and keep pushing those boundaries.
Find what works for you.
That's the beauty of being a creator online.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are.
That's a great note to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Linktree.
It's been fun.
We hope you learned something new
Yeah, and feel inspired.
to take your own online presence to the next level.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring
Keep creating.
and keep diving deep.
Thanks for listening to the Nordic Venture Show. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more stories of innovation from the Nordics.